Oh my god, your poor dad.
I have things to say.
How do we start the podcast without Bailey?
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So,
Thank you for joining us and being the fourth Brant sister.
that's the part I always forget.
Yeah, that was good.
We did it together.
We did it together. Wow. We have the two oldest Brants in the house.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. If you were just like a normal listener and like you weren't watching this via video, you probably wouldn't even notice that Bailey's not here because like Bailey doesn't really talk that much anyways.
She does always start the episode.
She does. But Paige and I are always talking so much that like we don't let her get a word in.
Yeah. Oops. But this time, our littlest sister is... Her and Styx actually they're on a plane right now. They're going to New Jersey.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Baily is meeting the family.
Ooh, that's stressful. How do you think she's going to do?
I think she'll do great.
Yeah, I think she will too. She's like an easygoing girl.
Very easygoing,
Polite.
easy to get along with,
Yeah.
polite. How could anyone not like Baily?
Yeah. There's nothing not to like.
Exactly. She'll be great.
She'll do great. Our thoughts and prayers are with our sister.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay, so full disclosure, Jade and I have been sitting here for the past hour probably, catching up, chatting, and
It got deep.
Our chat went deep.
It got real deep.
It went real deep.
We're just talking about like why we are the way that we are, like our parents, how they've affected us in like different ways.
Suicide.
Keeping it light, like talking about feelings, like,
But stay tuned. Obviously, there's some podcast things that are stemming from that, but nothing concrete yet.
yeah. We think like because we're really starting out our relationship with you guys. We've been together for what, like 8 months now, and so now I think it's time to get a little deeper.
Yeah.
And let you in on the sister chats. It's
about damn time.
Exactly. And so it's hard though when there's like other people involved with that. And that's like the situation. But I think it's important to like get deep and like the way we always talk about stuff, it's like funny. It's deep and funny.
It's deep and it's funny.
You got to laugh through the pain.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Right. Is that what she said?
She said it was deep and funny.
Oh.
Yeah, obviously, but the reason it's funny is because we're
sad.
so awkward talking about deep feelings that the only way we know how to do it is by cracking a joke every once in a while. And we were thinking, man, other people are probably like that and they would probably get something out of that. So we don't know how that's going to happen yet, but
We're going to do it.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It'll probably happen in the next few weeks, I think.
I think so too. I mean, the start of it.
The start of it. We're going to go on a journey.
A journey.
A journey.
Well, anyways, Jade, how the hell are you? You just went to Mexico.
Yes. Well, I'd like to apologize to the sisters for not putting out an episode last week. And that's because I thought I was going to be able to edit this thing that Paige and I did in Mexico. And then it turned out like Mexico just got a little crazier than I thought. So I did have a ton of fun. And I met a lot of like really cool people. It wasn't my trip. I didn't know anyone going into the trip. And everyone was very welcoming. And I was like kind of in this, position as like going as someone's date, and it's like I don't love being in that position because like I don't want people to see me as just like some random girl, because I'm more than just a random girl in my mind.
Yeah, but like we're all a random girl sometimes.
Yeah. So that was like my own like little thing in my head, but like I really had so much fun.
That's because you have a hard time not being the main character.
Probably. And it's like my ego.
Yeah.
For sure. Being like, no, I'm special, I swear. Like you guys you'll see it later. I did get really hungover one morning. I had like way too many espresso martinis with tequila one night. And I woke up and I really showed my true colors. Like monster level. I was literally in the bathroom. I shut the door to the bathroom. I shut the door to the toilet. I turned on the shower and I was blaring Taylor Swift in the bathroom.
Nice.
Gagging myself, and it was like, we are never ever. And I like have like my fingers down my throat and I'm like like just trying to get the demons out, because I'm like, we were about to go on a boat. And I was like, I can't get on this boat if I'm like going to be puking like this. And then I'm like, I go back to bed and I'm just like having, you know, when you're like, you can't go back to sleep, but you just have to do breathing exercises. And I was like, can you go get me Dramamine? He was like, oh, that's so funny. I'm like, go get me Dramamine.
It's funny because I thought I was the only one that got my hangovers from mom.
Oh,
but I guess I'm not.
I am a demon when I'm hungover.
Damn.
And I think he still likes me, so that's a positive. But that was like definitely like, that's a red flag for him for sure.
It happens. I mean, people get hungover. Everyone's hangover is different. One of my friends doesn't get hungover. She'll be like, oh, I have a minor headache. A minor headache. I am vomiting every 30 minutes.
Oh, I'm like debilitated. And then you take Dramamine and you're all like drowsy. And I just felt like I was on this like really nice boat and I'm like, why am I like this?
Why did I do this to myself?
Why did I do this? Like I literally did it to myself. But all in all, we had a really good time. All the clothes came in. Everything was like, I looked good.
You looked great.
I couldn't like post any pictures, but.
And why not?
Because we're just like keeping things low key.
You and Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, some of his friends were like, is this story going to make it on the podcast? And I was like, no, we don't talk about Mr. Roberts on the podcast. Obviously, I called him his real name. I wasn't going to tell his friends that I call him Mr. Roberts, because they're going to be like, why do you call him Mr. Roberts? And then I'll have to get into the thing. But yeah, so the friends are aware of your poor dad.
As they should be.
Yeah.
You're welcome, friends.
You're welcome. And it was cute. Like,
and I hope they're listening. And Mr. Roberts, if you're listening, shout out.
Shout out, Mr. Roberts.
Oh, Roman says, I thought I was Mr. Roberts.
He's kind of adjacent to Mr. Roberts.
Kind of.
Yeah. But anyways,
I'm glad that you had a great time.
Yeah.
You were gone, and then now our little sister's gone. So it sounds like I'm the loser of the family, and I'm not going anywhere.
What did you do this weekend? I actually didn't ask.
Well, I did hang out with my friends, which we'd had a great time. However, I also got really hungover because on Sunday we started the day at Bangers. Oh. And I got a beer first before we sat down. And then when I sat down, that's when I decided to have my Manmosa.
Oh.
And then it just went downhill from there. Then we went to Lazarus and we did flights, but usually beer flights are supposed to be small little beers, right?
Yeah.
These were like full on big beers.
That'll get you.
And I was only going to drink like 2 or 3 of them. And then one of my friends was like, you're not going to finish it. And I was like,
and you're like, great.
Like, I guess I am now. Anyways, so middle of the night, throwing up. The next morning, Styx is like, hey, heard you throwing up last night. I'm like, everyone did. Like, I am
the county.
I am the loudest person when I throw up. Like, I can't control it. Anyways, that's disgusting. Sorry. Facts. But that's my weekend. I do have a couple other things I wanted to say.
Okay.
Because guess what I did on Saturday?
What?
I read a book.
Wow.
Guys.
You read a whole book?
I don't read. I read a whole book.
What book?
Verity.
Verity.
Colleen Hoover.
I read Verity.
My friend Megan gave me this book. I'm probably exaggerating, but not by much, a year ago. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I really want to give you a book, blah, blah, blah. I was like, don't even bother. I'm not going to read it. Right.
Yeah.
It's been sitting on my nightstand for so long. And I finally decided to pick it up and I could not put it back down. I had no idea that this book sitting next to my nightstand for months was as great and addicting as it was.
Well, that's the thing about books. There's so much in there. And it's like, you just have to open up the page and read.
Here's, I think, my problem. Because what usually happens with me is I either get first page in, I'm starting to get really sidetracked. Like, I could be doing something else, right?
Yeah.
So I made a deal with myself that I'm not going to get up. Like, I have to at least finish 1 chapter at a time.
Yeah.
So me thinking, okay, I'll finish this in a week, whatever. nope. Because then I'm like, what the fuck happens next?
Yeah.
You know? And I also think the other thing was I started it in the morning. I usually like open a book at nighttime. I'm already
and it's like,
tired. And then I'm like, books make me sleepy.
Yeah.
I'm just exhausted. Loved it. Highly recommend the book to anybody.
Anyone who's listening and like has not read it, aka probably like 1% of you.
Just me. But if you haven't, read it.
It's really
I loved
good.
it. I think I'm going to read another one.
It'll get you back into reading.
Yeah.
You know what you should read next?
What?
Luckiest Girl Alive. It's so good.
I've heard of it.
It's really good, and it's like it's an easy one. I read it when I was camping once with like a boy, and I was like, I hate camping, so I'm just gonna sit here and read a book, and I finished it in like a couple days.
Hell yeah. Luckiest Girl Alive. Okay.
I started a new book, and it's Travis Barker's memoir, and it's really good.
Well, he's a drummer.
He is a drummer. He's my drummer. And his friends called him Dumpster Dick. He is a sex addiction. And but it makes you like love him. And he has BDE. Like you could feel the BDE radiating from my little Kindle. I was like, oh my God.
It's just like,
everyone wanted to hook up with him.
Okay.
He was literally sleeping on people's floors, and girls were sitting outside the window, tapping on the window, waiting for him to come outside. They wanted to hook up with him, and he was nobody.
So I have loved Travis Barker since Blink-182, right?
Right. As we all have.
But like
Yeah.
I
He was your favorite.
Like I loved him. Him and Eminem, like back in the day, like I would have them as like my screensavers. Like
Yeah.
I was like that kind of girl. So I think I'm just like loving the fact that this year, Something About You, you've given the appreciation to like Taylor Swift, Travis Barker. Like,
I mean, I've always liked
people
Travis.
that have like, that you would not really give the time of day whenever I liked them a very long time ago. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I think you've really grown.
I've grown a lot this year, and the main thing with Travis is that I love him and Courtney. Like I just like
when was his book written? Like when did he write it?
I don't know. I need to check on that. But it starts out talking about him being on fire, and then it goes back to the start. And he grew up in Fontana. Baily was actually born at Fontana Kaiser.
Wasn't that a pretty long drive?
It was a really long drive. And I will never forget like mom and dad waking us up, and they're like, you're getting a sister. And we're like, okay, let's get in the car. Let's go to Fontana. We had to go to their friend's house. And then we spent the night at the friend's house. They had chickens because their daughter had really bad eczema. So she needed like fresh eggs. And they had all the pound puppies. And I was like, this place is fucking awesome. And then they woke us up and they're like, oh, it was a false alarm. You need to go back. Then the next day we went back, and I was like, oh, it's going to be a false alarm again. But then we got Baily.
The only thing I remember about Baily, I remember going to that house one time, a very like blurry, brief memory. But then I remember, did we go to the hospital? Like, did we see her in the hospital?
I don't remember that.
I don't know if this is like a real memory, but like for some reason in my head, like I have a memory of like us walking, and we were walking with somebody, but I don't know who. Like walking in like after she was born, and like mom was holding her, and she like leaned over and like showed it. But like I don't know if that even
Isn't that
happened.
so weird. We've like literally known each other since we were born. That's fucked up. Like we've seen each other. I've seen you straight out of the womb.
Do you remember that home video we have of like me when I'm like a blob, right? I'm
Yeah.
like fresh, and they just like have me sitting there filming me, and you're like, Paige Alexis. You're like trying to give me your middle name.
And my middle name is Alexis.
And they're like, no, it's Paige Elizabeth. No, Paige Alexis.
Paige Alexis.
But it's just like the weird, you make it funny because you're alive, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking and whatever. But just like the idea of that video, I'm just like
you're just a baby.
I'm like, why are you filming me?
Isn't it weird to see yourself like as a baby? Like I was a baby once.
And we were both really ugly babies in our own ways. In very different ways.
Yeah. Like you got cute quick.
Yeah. You took some time.
I don't think I got cute until I turned 30.
Not to mama.
I looked like the dinosaur from Dinosaurs. But Baily was so big. Like mom was big with Baily. And the fucked up thing is that like mom gained so much weight with Baily. Like, you know, you're having a baby. But we all would not let it go. Like us as kids, we'd be like, we should call the baby chubby because mom's so big.
I was just about to say that I had a ding that like we called Baily chubby
because
for so long.
Mom was so big.
Bailey's birthday's in January. For Christmas, we got chubby an ornament and wrote chubby on the ornament. So just 1 month before, I was sold on chubby. Like chubby was this baby's name. And then whenever a month later I have to call her Baily, I was pissed. Like that's not her name. Her name is Chubby.
We've been calling this baby Chubby for like too many months.
For way too many months. And now all of a sudden I'm supposed to know this baby by a different name.
And think about like how that made mom feel. Like everyone literally is calling the fun word. Like everyone called the baby Chubby.
Everyone called the baby Chubby.
Yeah, because mom was chubby.
She was chubby.
She really did, like, no offense, like gain a lot of weight.
I mean,
like,
facts.
do you, but like
she lost it.
She looked fine. It was just like, I remember there's this picture of me holding onto mom's waist and my neck is like broken.
Look, Chubby liked to eat.
Yeah. And Chubby ate. She was eating for two.
Yeah. Yeah. They probably thought there were twins in there and it's like, oh, just one. Just one.
Just Chubby.
Just Chubby. AKA Baily.
Yeah, but anyways, back to Travis Barker. He's got BDE, and so I'm just at the point now where he meets Blink-182.
Nice.
And the band that he was with before Blink-182 was Aquabats. And I guess it was just like this funny band, and like he didn't really like it because they wore costumes. That band ended up being Yo Gabba Gabba. So that band's making a lot of money, but so is Travis.
You saying that, the first thing, gala gala, that's not the same, but that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Good for Travis.
Yeah, and he said he just like vibed with the guys and like, so I'm just really excited to like dive deeper.
So you're not done yet?
I'm not done. I'm like 30%.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I did on the plane.
I also got a treadmill this week.
Oh.
And I love it. It's an old treadmill, so she's a little rusty, she's a little loud, but she works, you know? She works. I've used it 3 days in a row now. That's how many days I've had it. Love it. I then found my inner Andy and went to the garage, found some wood, sawed the wood to the perfect length. And I made a little table so I can put my laptop so I can walk and walk and work. So we're reading, we're being productive, you know, we're getting our steps in. It's been a good week.
I love that.
It's been a good week. Except,
What?
Bummer. The queen died.
Somebody messaged me on Instagram and said, I just wanted to check on you. I heard a queen died. And
So
I was
they
like,
thought it was you.
and I was like, ... like thinking.
That's
and
a
I was
good
like,
pickup line.
oh, I was like, nice.
That would probably make me laugh. I'd be like,
Thanks.
did it work?
No.
That is wild though that she died. You know, I mean, she was 96, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Nature, right?
Right.
The thing that sucks is like
Charles?
he's like 76, you know? It's
I
like
know, and it's like
he's
Charles.
been waiting a long time.
And he's not going to get to enjoy it that long. But you know who's winning in
Over
this?
under. What do you like? What
Paige. You know who's winning in all of this? Guess. This is easy.
Kate?
No, Camilla. Camilla, his wife, is winning.
She's alive?
Paige.
I didn't know that.
Camilla?
Why is she winning?
Because first of all, he liked Camilla before he liked Princess Diana.
Yeah, she's the other woman.
No, they kind of
She's in my eyes.
Okay. Anyways, do some research.
Okay, I know that she was.
Camilla's his one true love.
All I know is that she's the one true love, but whatever. Okay,
But like she got the guy at the end of the day, and she's like, I don't have to be queen. Could she ever be queen?
Wouldn't she be queen now because she's married?
No, she's
to
probably
a
princess.
king? Even if you're
Because
married to a king?
Prince Philip, right, is queen's husband.
Huh.
Or no,
That's interesting.
Wait, Prince.
I guess I just assumed that, like, so you have
It's
the
not
king,
what you think.
and then his wife's the queen.
You have your cousins, then
And
you
then
have your first cousins.
then you have your second cousins. That's not right, is it? No, I did not. I guess I've never thought about that. I did think that it was the king and the queen, but it was with like the family. So like even if like let's say like if he were to die and Camilla's alive, right? Like
She would stay the queen.
No, that like since he's the family, like then it goes to the next.
Yeah.
But then so William's the king and then Kate would be the queen. Like that's how I thought things worked.
No, yeah, you would think, because that's like fairy tales.
Isn't it also weird that like a monarch works there? It would never work here.
No, are you
like-
kidding me? We would revolt. We did revolt. That's why we
That's
came
why-
to America.
that's-
literally while we're working through history.
But it's just like why does it work there still?
Because they're too damn polite.
They're too damn polite.
Yeah, like they don't care like we do. We have too much pride. We're Americans. Do we
Okay.
sound dumb?
Also, just going back to the whole Camilla of it all, because now isn't Charles the one that like, you know, the Epstein of it all?
That's his brother.
What's his name?
Maybe he's Philip.
We know a lot about the
honey,
royals.
We're informed.
We are informed.
No, his brother. But the queen always like had a soft spot in her heart for the brother because like,
Because it was her son.
yeah. But he did some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And he like wasn't good at hiding it either. But I think that's like when you grow up with that much privilege, like that's privilege on
Like-
another level.
If this should be hidden, someone else will hide it for me.
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't even know to hide shit because people have been hiding shit for him his entire life.
Honestly, let's circle back to our original conversations, you know?
Yeah,
like
literally.
full circle.
Our family.
Wow.
So,
Crazy.
Rest in peace to her royal highness.
She's like the longest-
She's kind of a badass.
Yeah, she's like the longest living like monarch or something.
Over 7 decades.
Probably will always be.
Yeah, because she was so young.
Then again, technology, I don't know, but like
Well,
probably
Charles isn't gonna.
No, Charles has no hope.
No,
No offense.
he's
but,
lucky he
like,
got the crown. They almost like skipped it. What's it called when they skip it? I don't know why I asked you.
Baily? Where's Baily when you need her?
But like they were talking about like if they would skip it because Charles got a divorce, and that's like frowned upon. But like whatever. But they didn't clearly because now he's the
That
king.
divorce was so long ago.
But they care.
Okay. There's a lot of rules.
That's why Camilla is like. That's why she's lucked out because he got to have a divorce and marry her, and then now she gets to be married to the king. That's the highest honor in their country.
And she still can't be a queen?
No.
We gotta look into that. That's wild to me. Why would
Someone will tell
why would
us.
she not be a queen? That's weird. Honestly, that's weird if it's like a princess married to a king, right? Like that's odd.
It sounds weird.
Are you watching? Speaking of all this, but fantasy, are you watching The House of the Dragon?
No.
Okay, never mind.
You know
But if
I'm
anyone
not-
else is, DM me because
Yeah, that's not
I'm
my
into it.
vibe. I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I was so confused when they started like hooking up with their brothers and stuff in the first season. I was like, no.
okay. On that note, there's this like girl who's of age, so I don't know what that means in their time, but let's just say 18ish, right?
Yeah.
And then she gets a baby brother, and they're like, "Oh no, who are we gonna pick to be the heir?" And then someone suggests like we could just what's it called? Like betroth, like
I don't know.
betrothed, like marry. You know, like we
The
can
baby?
like we can marry them together. Like we can make sister brother.
But he's a baby?
18ish and like baby, and they're like, "Oh, we can't do that. He's a baby." Yeah, but there's a word for it. Like you basically like promise them to be married, and then eventually he'll
she's
grow up, like
36?
when he's of age, and she's well of age, you know what I mean, then they can start producing. And I'm like,
That's disgusting.
they said no, but like,
They said no. Thank God.
they said no, but the king said no, but he's like pretty wishy-washy. Like he could
say
change
yes.
his mind at any moment.
Jesus.
I really need to know what that word is.
Betrothed.
Do you know what I'm talking about when it comes to
No.
marriage?
Betrothed.
Betrothed?
I think so.
Yeah, he's like, you could have them betrothed. Like, promise to each. And I'm like, it was gross.
That's disgusting.
Stay tuned. We'll see what happens.
I guess.
Beep, 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 beep.
Uh-oh.
Guys, we have a Bears update for you. Jade, if you remember, and I think you will, because it was pretty funny. A few weeks ago, Justin Fields said they were not ready for the
Right.
season, right? That was troubling.
Yeah.
But guess what? Now he is saying that the Bears are ready for Sunday's season opener against the 49ers. And guess what he said? Quoted. Do you want to guess?
No, I'll wait.
Okay, he said, I think we're all ready to play on Sunday.
What a profound quote. You know what that quote reminds me of? Harry Styles saying, you know what I love about this movie? Is that it feels like a movie. Justin Fields, I think we're all ready for Sunday.
Ready for Sunday. When I read that, I was dying when I read that quote. I think we're all ready for Sunday.
I want to do that clip of the Victorious cast where it's like, oh, we like to sing. I think we all like to sing.
And it's like, because he literally said it, we're all ready to play on Sunday. Okay. I hope so.
Well,
Bears.
I guess we'll see.
Wait.
You know, time is ticking.
But also,
How about this?
don't worry, little darling. Like, the fuck. That's
Wait,
the only
hold
thing
on. Can I just say one thing
Okay.
to the Bears?
to the Bears. To the Bears.
To the Bears, this is our bet. If you guys lose on Sunday, then you have to take us to the next game because like we could be your lucky charm. You just don't know.
Yeah, and if you do win, you should still take us to the next game because we could be your luckier charm.
Luckier charm.
Luckier charm.
Luckier charm. Okay, back to Don't Worry, Darling. That's all over my TikTok. Now I'm like burned out.
Okay, I'm burned out, but also, what the fuck happened? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay, I think that like Florence is really just trying to separate herself from the toxicity.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah. And she's staying out of it. And I actually, you know, I'm hard on Olivia Wilde sometimes, but I did like her response where she's like, the internet feeds itself. I don't need to give like any more comments to this.
Okay, but also, did you see where? So she originally had said that she fired Shia.
She shired.
She shired.
He got shired.
She fired Shia, and then Shia comes with the receipts, right?
Right.
Well, here's the thing. I read that she had doubled down on the firing of Shia, but the interview where she doubled down on it was done before he came out with these receipts, and it was like just recently posted. So I'm like,
That's
this
embarrassing.
is so embarrassing. Like, it's so embarrassing that like you were really I fired and she's like, I fired him to protect Florence. Like, she wasn't comfortable. I fired him. Like, I'm a director that protects my people type of thing. And it's like, oh, those receipts make it look a little weird.
The shiring of it all.
The shiring of it all.
But like, here's the thing. It's really only doing good things for the movie because it's making me want to see it and I don't want to see any movie.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm like, or is everything orchestrated? And
I think they're playing into it.
And everyone's playing into it because, like they say, all publicity is good publicity. And because it really, truly is.
Yeah.
Do you know how many TikToks I saw of people thinking Harry spit on Chris Pine?
And did you see Harry throw a goat on Chris Pine? It's too much. I'm like, I can't. And then I can't look at Chris Pine's like face. It's like too perfect. It's like almost like too good.
Speaking of his face being too perfect, sometimes I fantasize about like what kind of guy I'm gonna end up with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about Chris Pine. I'm like, I don't think I could ever date
No.
Chris Pine. Like, it's too,
It's like it transcends like gender. It's like it's too pretty to be a man. It's too pretty to be a woman. It's like he is just like a genderless, beautiful face.
yeah, like where did that come from?
Yeah, because it's like it's a little feminine, but it's also like a little masculine.
Because it's also like he wakes up in the morning and always looks like that.
Yeah, like he's a dude. He doesn't have to put on makeup.
And like I look different. You know what I mean?
You should see me.
It's wild. I am going to see the movie though.
Yeah,
Like
I
all
will
of this
too.
buzz. But I also wanted to see the movie from the beginning.
Yeah, it looks
so
good.
I am kind of getting like burnt out on everything. The other thing that is this like old news, or am I just like am I being gaslit everywhere, like that Olivia and Harry are broken up?
Oh,
did you
are
hear
they?
that?
I honestly just
Well, I heard that they were, and so then I'm wondering, why is nobody talking about that?
Well, why are we invited to the Moody Center on September 25th to see Harry Styles and see for ourselves?
And it's your birthday.
And it's my birthday.
That's rude.
And I would literally just tell the Moody Center, like, I'm here to do
Why
the
don't
hard.
you just call the Moody Center up?
Why don't I just call the Moody Center up?
Why don't you just call Harry?
Why don't you just call Harry up?
Why don't you just call Harry up and say, hey, I think you forgot to put me on the list. It's my birthday.
There's been an oversight.
No big deal. You can fix
Yeah,
it.
we can fix this. It's fine.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you'll do that?
I'm going to cut this clip and tag the Moody Center and hope to God that.
And tag Harry.
And tag Harry. I mean,
Harry.
Harry. You're a wizard, Harry.
What? Nipples?
You're a wizard, Harry?
Oh, I thought you said
Your nipples, Harry?
your nipples are hairy. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, sometimes. Speaking of that, oh my God, I'm getting my boobs done on Monday. Which was so much drama.
The drama of the bibs.
You were like, you cannot handle like a shakeup in your world literally at all.
So first of all, you're right. But second of all, because I can't handle a shakeup, like I got this what I thought was new information.
Yeah.
So I'm immediately freaking out, trying to figure out how is this new date in my mind, like going to work, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm like, I need to call Jade. She needs to know the first moment that this might not work for me, right?
Yeah.
So I call you, and like the attitude on you, I'm like,
Well, because I just give you like, I give you what you're giving me, and then
I'm like,
you can't handle the attitude that you're giving when I
Well,
give it back.
because it's like the audacity that you have to give me the attitude when I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be available to take you to your boob job.
Well, and that freaks me out.
And I'm like,
Who's
I
gonna
thought
take care of me?
I thought it was on a Friday. And all of a sudden I'm hearing it's on a Monday.
No, okay, let me just tell the story. Okay, I told Paige so many times it's on September 12th, it's on September 12th, but
No, tell them the full story.
But in the past, all my other surgery dates
All
have
three.
been on Fridays. So she just assumed September 12th was on.
that the fourth changed date, of course, I assumed was
Okay.
another Friday.
Anyways, as I said, so she calls me and she's like, "You didn't tell me it was on a Monday," and I was like, "I told you the date," and she was like, "But oh, you just don't know how to communicate. Like, you should have told me." And then even Mom had your back, and I was like, I called my
I
friends.
did say I should have looked at the calendar, but you also should have said Monday the 12th when you've been
I didn't
saying
even think to say
when
the
you've
12th
said
on Monday.
Friday the blank, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, okay. And then the last time's the 12th. I'm like, okay, obviously it's not a Friday. Like,
Obviously.
it's obviously a Friday. Like this place only does surgeries on Fridays.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what I thought. So I'm like, you didn't tell me it was on Monday. Like this
Yeah.
changes everything. I was dramatic because I was scared, because I feel the pressure of like the only like able sister in our city to take care of you. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm scared, right? I'm
Yeah.
like the stress. I need to let her know if I can't, whatever. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll figure it out. Mom will do it. And I'm like,
I was like, I'll fly Ashley out. I don't care.
I'm like, excuse me? Like this bitch. I'm trying to move mountains to take care of her.
Mountains?
Mountains.
literal, like just your work schedule.
Literal mountains. And you're like, nah, I don't care. I'm like, I was pissed.
Okay.
I told you I was.
Well, we've got it all figured out, and I'm getting surgery on Monday. So
How
next
do you
week,
feel right now? Like, this is the last time they're going to see you
I know.
and hear you
I
with
know.
your old boobs.
Well, I have a big weekend coming up, so I'm not really like thinking about it. I don't think I'm supposed to be drinking, but like I'm
I was
going
just
to be drinking.
Wait, did you get your labs done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got them done yesterday. Oh my God, the girl was so funny. I walked in there and I was like, oh my God, I forgot my driver's license. Like, do you need that? She's like, no, come on in. And I was like, okay. I could have literally like had you come in and do my labs,
Nice.
but I didn't. But yeah.
You should definitely
I need to look into
confirm-
like the drinking.
Because what about you might not be able to eat
I'm not
either.
allowed to eat like after 12 the night before.
Okay.
And I'm
You probably shouldn't drink the day before.
yeah, it's Mr. Robert's birthday, so I'm gonna take him out. Which, by the way, remind me I need to look at reservations. I'm gonna take Daddy out.
Don't call him that, but that's okay. Anyways, should we read some listener stories?
Yeah. Okay. Should I get another drink? Wait,
Yeah.
I don't know if I need one. Actually, I feel this is a lot.
Sure. Okay, so the story, like the topic we are discussing today are things that we thought as kids. Something that I wanted to remind you of, that, do you remember that we told Bailey that we were aliens who could take off our feet? And
Yeah.
that one day we were going to leave because our mothership was going to come, but that she couldn't come with us.
That was like classic older sister behavior.
And then Bailey was like trying not to be scared, trying to pretend like she like knew we were kidding, but she'd be like, okay, then do it then.
And we're like,
We
you don't
can't.
want to see it.
We can't, because the last time we didn't, we couldn't put the back on, and it was like a big ordeal. And she's like,
And we had to lose our other sister. That's what we should have said.
and then that's how we got you.
I remember Mom used to tell us that when we were in a supermarket and we were misbehaving and we were being really bad, she would look over and find like the most like decrepit looking, like terrible looking person in the place. She'd be like, that's your real mom. And if you don't mind yourself, I'm going to give you back to her. And we're like, ooh,
Really?
wait.
How did I end up with you?
That doesn't seem probable, but like I also don't want to test you.
Another thing about Bailey is when she was really little, she squished a ladybug thinking that it's just like a normal bug, right?
Yeah.
And Mom said, oh no, like don't kill ladybugs, they're good luck. So then naturally Bailey then thinks, now I have bad luck because I squished this ladybug. And then so she would have these nightmares about ladybugs, right? But then the funny thing is like her nightmares kind of did come true, because you know the bathroom in Mom and Dad's house, like there are always ladybugs in that shower. Always ladybugs in that shower.
Weird.
And so Bailey would start screaming and like almost crying. She's like, Paige, come get these ladybugs. And then we were at BJ's.
Your favorite place?
My favorite place.
Paige loves BJ's.
Paige loves BJ's. And she goes to take a bite of her salad, and there's a live ladybug in her salad. And she's almost in tears because she truly thinks like these ladybugs are out to get her. Like they're trying to get her from the inside, you know?
Damn.
And the waiter comes over and he's laughing. Hey, at least you know it's fresh, blah, blah, you know? And Bailey's just like looking at him with like tears in her eyes. Anyways, those are like really the only things I can think of besides
Besides you thinking that there were like two babies in your ears and Dad and Uncle Walt in your other ear.
wait, that's not normal.
No. That was so weird. You were like such a weird kid.
Okay, creative.
Creative, yes.
Creative.
Like it was like she would take them out of her ears, like holding her hands out, and she would like hold him, and we'd always like joke around and be like, "Oh, is that Dad and Uncle Walt?"
We wouldn't joke around. You would come over, and if I had my hand out like this, 'cause like I would put my hand next to my ear, and they would walk out.
Yeah.
And then they would be on my hand, and you know I'd just be playing with them, whatever. And then you would walk by and just
Yeah.
smash them. It's okay. And then I'd cry and I'd cry, and somehow, even though you'd squish them, they'd always end up back in my ear.
Yeah,
And
you'd get them back in there. Just pump them up with some air.
Just get them back. That actually, I wonder what that is. Like, why did I do that?
Boredom. Yeah. Kids need to be bored.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. Story number 1. I love y'all's podcast so much. I found it right before I moved to Austin and have binge listened ever since. I'm the oldest of 4 with 2 little brothers and 1 little sister. Me and one of my brothers were closest in age, and this isn't super weird, but for some reason I associated things that he liked only for boys, like burgers and ketchup. And and like sorry. And like sorry. And like chicken and ranch were only for girls because it's just like really funny because like
I can picture that.
well, it's like you picture that in your household. It's like you and your brother and like, oh, chicken and ranch, like that's for girls. Like what? And then you like go to school one day and you see like some boys eating chicken and ranch and like some girls eating burgers and ketchup, and you're like,
And your world is turned.
everything's different. That was, I don't know.
That's really funny.
That one got me. Whew. Okay. Hey gals, love the pod. I'm the oldest in my family and relate to y'all way too much. Anyways, when I was a kid, sorry, I remember this one now and it's like, I'm okay. It's just funny. Okay. Anyways, when I was a kid, my parents didn't want me swimming in bodies of water for whatever reason. I think that maybe they were afraid I was going to drown or something. They told me that if I swam in a pond or a river, that a water dog, aka a salamander, was going to crawl up my butt and live inside of me. Well, in high school, a bunch of kids wanted to go skinny dipping in a lake, and I told them I couldn't go because I didn't want water dogs making their way into my colon. To my surprise, they uninvited me because that wasn't a thing and I was weird. I'm not gonna lie, I think it caused some trust issues, but whatever, life goes on.
Imagine if your friend said a water dog making its way into my colon.
Hey, I cannot go skinny dipping with you. I don't want anything making
You're like,
and that you think that's so true.
yeah.
Like your parents never said, oh, we're joking.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. First off, I love you girls in the podcast. I'm the little red caboose of 5 sisters, so your dynamic is so relatable, and I found myself howling with laughter more than once.
LOL.
Thank you. Okay. This one's called Pee and Lavender. Okay. So growing up, my boy cousin and I were best friends. We were alike in looks and actions, except he had a pee. Sorry. I once saw him eating lavender. Looking back, probably not healthy, but whatever. And in my little kid brain at the time, I believed that if I ate lavender, I would grow one too. About a year later, I was sick of us being different and plopped myself down by the lavender plant. Needless to say, I grew a bit wiser after the first bite and never ate it again. So she's like, I want to grow pee-pee. She's just like eating.
Ew.
But it's funny because why do boys have peepees? You know what I mean? Like when you're little,
like,
it's like,
we didn't even know what a pee-pee looked like in our house.
yeah.
There was no pee-pees.
There were no
just
pee-pees.
like vaginas.
And it was like,
But we called our vaginas pee-pees.
we called our vaginas peepees.
Pee-pees. My pee-pee feels funny. That's what I said on the plane when one of the first times I went on a plane. I was like maybe like 2. And I remember this. And I was like, Mommy, my pee-pee feels funny when we were doing like the takeoff. Cause it was like, whoa. It was like the first time I like felt that like feeling. And she's like, I remember the guy next to her laughing like vividly. And she's like, honey, next time that happens to you, just blink your eyes. You don't have to say that.
Why do you have to blink your eyes?
I remember being like, hey Mom, like inside jokes. Like, stop. And really, it was just like having like little tingles for the first time.
My ex-boyfriend Tyson, he similar thing, like when you're like driving and you go down like a hill and you lose your stomach. Mommy, my pee-pee tingles. But they like he was really little, kind of like you, like when he said that. But then the first time I went to go meet his parents, we were like going to wineries, and it was kind of like windy roads, and we went down a thing, and they go, my pee-pee tingles, and I was like, what the and then they told me the story. I'm like, it's funny if you know Tyson.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. This is the last little kid story, but okay. Once when I was about 4 to 5, we were on the annual family vacation. My sister, closest to me in age, is definitely the most gullible out of the girls. So weeks prior, the older 3 siblings had convinced her that an El Camino was a fart. My dad, being the gem he is, released the Taco Bell in his gut, and my sister loudly yells, "Ew, Dad, that El Camino stank." The 3 older ones are dying laughing, and I don't think I've ever seen my dad more confused in his life. That's something that like we would do. Like we would tell Bailey like something's called something else. Yeah. And then like the time approaches and Bailey would like say something different.
Yeah.
That's
funny.
Those are what we have. What time are we at?
I can't see. My old eyes.
My eyes. My brand.
Oh, we're only at 47 minutes.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to read this.
Okay.
This is what made me want to read it. She says, after hearing last week's nude story, I decided I need to be that bitch and one up her. She attached a PDF, whatever. So, but she said, she was like, if this person hears the story, he's going to know that it's about him, and I never want him to contact me again. So it's like, hey.
So if this goes viral on TikTok, which it could.
Let me make sure I didn't include my name anywhere in the story, so you guys can just make one up. I changed his name. Okay, so she changed his name, so everything's good.
Okay.
Nudes. Honestly, there's nothing like more.
What should we call her? Maddie.
Maddie. Mine was better.
I think mine was better.
No, I think my like crack was better.
Oh, okay.
Crack. Say crack again. Crack again. Crack. Okay. Hey, girlies. Sorry, hold on. Sorry. I don't ever burp. That needed to happen. Okay. Apologies. Okay. Hey, girlies. Currently writing this on my work computer and planning to delete it immediately after, hoping it doesn't somehow get saved to some drive forever and ever. Just wanted to say you guys are so funny. Found you on TikTok, and my fave episode so far has been Bust One. Thank you. I'll get right into this because it's long, and I'll try to use proper commas for Bailey, but no promises. And you know what? It's okay because Bailey ain't reading it. You know what I mean?
And Paige won't know if they're proper or improper.
But speaking of, we did get a story that I have saved as Bailey's story because it's about an Audi belly button. And anyways. That one's also in like a document. Okay, anyways. So I was inspired by last week's story of the girl whose boyfriend's mom saw her nudes. So this is the story of how my high school principal and probably my ex's psycho mom saw the best nudes they've ever laid their eyes on, aka mine. I'm giving Jade vibes, I think, with that statement.
Oh my God. I'm already sold. I'm sold.
Me too. I was a senior in high school. My ex was a junior. Let's call him Andre.
Ooh, Andre.
Andre and Mary.
Andre and his girlfriend, Mary.
Mary. I got called down to the assistant principal's office one day, not thinking anything of it because I was a really good student and had been friends with the assistant principal's son for years. I sat down, and when he asked me how I was doing, I said, "Great." And he responded with, "You must not have talked to your boyfriend in the last hour or so then." First of all, why? Why?
Why would you say it like that?
Clearly she hasn't. So like, why are you like, you're just trying to like, the fear that she has after you say that, what the fuck do you know? And just like, tell her what you know.
And why does like high school administration need to be so dramatic.
So dramatic, and
They're the reason why we are the way we are.
because like you can have your rules, right? If you break a rule, these are the consequences. Great. But like you are like playing into it. They love the drama.
Oh.
They are the drama. They're the drama.
Am I the drama?
Yes. Anyways, immediately I thought some terrible accident happened and he was definitely going to tell me Andre was dead. Because this poor girl probably did this. She's like, oh my God, I haven't talked to him in the last hour.
Yeah.
He must be dead. Jesus, this assistant principal. Nope, it was worse.
It was worse. It was death worse.
Nope, it was worse. Man, I like this girl.
Yeah.
He informed me that 3 boys, one of them being Andre, had been sent to the office for talking about my nudes during class. You see, the boys at my school had a giant group message that they would send girls nudes in anytime they received them.
Oh, men start being bad so early.
So early.
It's just innate in them.
And it's like no one decides to correct the behavior because boys will be boys.
Yeah. And it's like almost like, I don't even know if they're taught. I think that's just who they are.
It's who they are, but like they could be taught to be better.
Yeah.
Anyways, the 2 other boys in question were Andre's friends and were joking with him that they had my nudes, which they did technically because years before I had sent the worst nude ever to some random guy who then sent it in the group. I'm very ashamed of this and would have taken a higher quality photo if I knew every guy in school would be seeing it. I was 15 and had a sports bra on with my A cups.
Well, it sounds like they deserved that nude. I wouldn't be
Honestly,
embarrassed.
And like, you're welcome.
Can I just say what my first nude was?
Okay.
My first nude was me in a baggy t-shirt.
Sorry. I'm nervous.
And I was wearing like
so you're not it's
boy
not a
short
nude.
boy short like underwear from Victoria's Secret, and then I did a little butt shot in the mirror and I told everyone I sent a nude, and I was like 29. Like, talk about late bloomer. You were thinking it was gonna be like on a flip phone. No, this is like literally like a few years ago. So
It's not a nude.
it's not a nude.
Okay. It is not a I mean it isn't a nude.
It's not a nude.
You're in a baggy t-shirt and some boy shorts.
But you could see my butt.
You probably see like your leg.
You could probably see more of me in a bathing suit, but it was intimate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you were in your 90s.
Yeah.
You felt like it was scandalous. Okay. Supposedly, they asked Andre if he had nudes of me on his phone, which he responded, yes, dumbass.
Andre is crazy.
Some more background here. I would send him nudes.
No.
I would send him nudes every Friday before his football games for good luck. She says, gag.
I love how like diligent she is.
I love her so much. Now, these were A1, however. Paige would probably have flashbacks to her OBGYN days if she saw them.
How do you even know how to take nudes like that at that age? Clearly, I was a late bloomer. She started early.
Anyway, you get the point. There was a lot going on in that phone. Well, apparently, his honest answer of yes wasn't good enough, and the principal, who was a 60-year-old woman, had to confirm and look through his phone. That's weird.
Yeah.
Prove it.
See. Let me
see those A1 nudes, baby. Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
There were probably at least 100. How many football games have you been sending these?
Honey.
The assistant principal assured me that neither he nor the school police officer had viewed these pictures, but that I could get in a lot of trouble for this.
Oh, and also prove it that you or the school police officer have not seen that.
But also, I hope they're also telling these boys that they can get in trouble because
That's distributing.
they're the ones distributing
Yeah. We know which word. We can't say it.
The word. We know what they're distributing, but they're distributing
it's corn.
The corn with lumpy knobs.
Yeah, it's a big lump with knobs.
Yeah,
they're distributing,
but
corn.
like miniature. Miniature corn.
It's
something
technically.
Okay. He then called my mom and explained to her on speakerphone what had happened.
Oh, great.
Also,
why? Unnecessary.
Why?
The mom should know first.
I was just about to say, once they had the confirmation, because they must see the nudes, like, now this is involved. We need to call the parent. If we're going to get these kids in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, we need to call their parents. Why are we bringing them in? Why are we bringing this girl in by herself?
Because they love the drama.
They are the fucking drama. I was mortified because my mom and I had a close relationship. However, we never talked about anything sex related.
Why would you?
That's not a normal.
Yeah.
My mom was really nice about it, actually, after she asked me what the fuck was wrong with me and told me that I needed to be careful about where I was spreading pictures of my body. Aww, that is really sweet.
That's sad.
What the fuck is wrong with you sending hundreds of nudes before
and
game
she's probably
day?
Like,
you need to be careful where you're spreading your body. And that is true. You do need to be careful.
Yeah.
You don't need to be sending it to Andre and his fucking friends.
And you do it on Snapchat.
Where if they take a screenshot, you know, and then you can pummel them to the ground until you delete it.
Blackmail them.
I didn't get grounded or anything. Like I said, nice. I was a pretty good kid for all my mom knew. Well, now she knows. Okay, Andre, on the other hand, was another story. His mom came to the school to pick up his phone. Weird bitch probably went through it and looked at them too.
Ew.
When I saw him in the 5 minutes we had between classes, I was fuming. He said, "What's wrong?" Like nothing had happened.
Men. The audacity.
What's wrong?
He knew.
He knew.
He knew.
And he said she said that he looked at her as if she was overreacting and everything was fine. The principal or the assistant principal, whatever, just let me see the nude. Prove it. Prove you have nudes on your phone. Prove it. Like, you're joking. We didn't actually get in any trouble with the school, basically because his family was well regarded in our city, and this whole fiasco seemed to be all for nothing. Not sure why my mom had to be called. Maybe just to inform her that her daughter was a little slut.
Hey, this town sounds like drama. I feel like there's gonna be like a plot twist in the end, and this is like a One Tree Hill episode.
I'm scared because like we're almost done. His mom, however, who hated me from the beginning because she'll probably God, I love this girl. Because she'll probably be breastfeeding him on his wedding day. refused to let him see me outside of school for a month. She told him he could hang out with his friends all he wanted, but she couldn't let him hang out with the girl who would send photos like that. Why the fuck do you think that girl is sending photos like that? Because your fucking son is asking for it.
Yeah, and also we can tell that Andre's mom, we can tell she's not getting it.
But like truly, like where is that Mom, I don't know. She just won't stop sending these photos. I don't know why she's doing it every football game. She's like, yeah, right. Come on. Like, yeah, why is it always the girl's fault?
Yeah, it's literally always the girl's fault and not the guy's.
Like I'm totally fine if both parties get in trouble, right? Because it's like
or just like have like how about we teach the kids, like instead of just getting them in trouble, it's like, hey, when you guys distribute pictures like this, it'll stay on the phone forever. Like, do you know how a phone works?
Well, okay, when I say trouble, I mean like addressing the issue. Because like, anytime it's addressed, I'm immediately thinking I'm in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. But it's like, but why are we not even addressing it to where it's like, that's the scariest part, right?
Yeah.
And
it's like, you're made to feel so much shame about like your sexuality. That is the thing that I think growing up in Texas, it was like, there was like shame about your sexuality, and it was like this hidden thing instead of being like, hey, like this is like the different levels that you should be giving someone your intimacy. Like you don't need to go all in. Like,
well, and it's like, because like you should not be giving any of your body to somebody who doesn't care about you, right?
Right.
But if you do, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's because that's the scary part is like, one, if you better not have sex before you're married.
Oh, honey,
you
no.
better not. And if you, because
any sex is bad.
Well, and then it's like, oh my God. And if I do, then what?
And then it's
right?
like, there's all these loopholes that you find.
The loophole poop hole.
The poop hole loophole.
Right.
Right.
Sorry. Anyways, we'll get onto this after. I stayed with this guy for another 3 years. And that is another traumatic story that if you guys want to hear about, let me know.
Yes.
Let's just say it does involve the laptop and crying and an on the border restaurant.
Yes.
Was she dumped in a Chewy's or did she dump him in a Chewy's?
Hold on.
You know?
Can we talk about like the marketing genius of this girl? Like
she's a genius.
Yeah. Crying in a laptop at an on the border.
She said, if this makes it to the pod, thanks for reading my story. And then she signs it, love, a fourth Brant sister. Honey,
welcome to the clan. That was good. Good.
That was great.
She's going to be situated right in between. She's probably like, it would be like me, her, you, Baily in birth order.
No.
You think?
No, because I think it would be you, me, her, Baily, because she is a little more, she's like a little more unhinged than me. But because it's like you were crazy, and then I had
You're
fun.
crazy in a different way.
I'm crazy in a different way, right? She was like kind of a mix
of both of us.
She was like kind of a mix, and then Baily being the fourth, like, is the chill one.
Yeah, she's learned too much. Oh my God, it'd be kind of
She's our
cool to
little
have
sister.
a fourth Brant sister.
Well, we have so many fourth Brant sisters, but like, yeah, that's wild. No, but truly, like, I don't know where she's from, but schools need to do better.
Yeah, schools need. Honestly, the problem here is not her; it's the school.
It's not her, because that's the other thing is like, again, I can promise you he's sending nudes back. You know what I mean? And no one is. Why did no one say, let me see your phone? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we heard that Andre has nudes on his phone. So, one, prove it.
Private.
Because, like, right then and there, it could have just been like, because they also knew who it was, right? Let's bring them in to talk about, like, this is a serious thing. Like, it's forever. Be smarter, right?
Right.
But instead, it's like, it sounded like she's the only one that really got, like, a talking to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is also really annoying. It is cool that they didn't, like, actually get her in trouble, and that her mom was, like, cool about it and whatever. But it's just, it's weird. Like, the way schools handle things is freaking
so
weird.
Sorry, when you were talking, I was flashing back to all these types of nudes I've taken, and like
your scandalous baggy shirt nude.
Honey, you think
my baggy shirt nude?
I wish I could do a TikTok of like started from the bottom, now I'm here, but I can't show the type of nudes I would send.
Because I'm an OBGYN.
My OBGYN hasn't even seen the parts of me that... But like when I first got single, I've said this before, I didn't have like an iPhone or whatever, and I would never send my ex nudes because like he would have showed people. I feel
100%.
he was like...
He would have actually, what he would have done, he would have purchased a billboard.
And be like, look at how hot my girl is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I couldn't trust him with that. So like anytime like he would take a cute picture of me and be like, look at Jade. And like, it's just whatever. But once I got Snapchat, well, I've had Snapchat, and then I started using it to distribute my nudes to a guy. It was just one guy.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're distributing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was cultivating a vibe between me and him through my nudes. And it's just like you kept having to like one up it because he was gone. We were long distance. So it just had.
So one day you lost the baggy shirt.
Oh, honey, the shirt went off.
And then one day your boy shorts went to a thong.
Then one day.
And then one day.
No. Nothing.
And then one day we won't talk about it. And then one day they actually became nudes. And then one day your nudes became nudes.
And think about the kind of nudes I'm going to be sending with my new boobs.
Well, I mean, that's just science.
Yeah.
You know, that's just for research.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
This is all like secondhand.
Wow. Okay, this was a great episode.
I think so too. Baily, we miss you.
We miss you. We love you. Everybody, please don't forget Taylor Swift might be dropping a single tonight. Listen for it.
Wait, this is gonna come out on Monday.
Everybody, Taylor Swift might already have a single out. Man,
and you'll know.
That's gonna be so depressing.
I know.
Because she probably won't. But if she does, we don't know. We'll know.
We'll know.
We'll
We
know.
all know.
We'll address it.
I think we all know.
I mean, none of us know. But we all will know on Monday.
Yeah.
We'll address it on Monday. But for real, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And
make sure to go tag your poor dad on the latest picture of Chicago Bears. Tell him, why are you sleeping on your Lucky Charm? Make sure to write in stories and questions.
I was going to say, so I was looking at, we have a lot of submissions and I was trying to find the common theme, because what I love that you guys are doing are you're just writing into us either about previous episode topics or just, I don't know the topic this week, so I'm going to say this, whatever. And I love that so much. I think the most consistent theme has been more like a relationship thing, something to do about a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Someone has like a weird fetish. So I think if you guys have something relationship related, the good, the bad, or the ugly.
Yeah,
you know
let's
what
talk
I mean?
about it. As sisters.
Ask advice.
Ask advice.
Ask
and
advice.
Ask like things that you like would own, like you wish you had a sister to talk to. Or like if you've already talked to your sisters about and they're like not giving you the answer that you want, maybe I'll give you the answer.
And I probably won't.
Because I'm the enabler and you're not.
But Jade might. But ask us advice for whatever you want. And you can do that at yourpoordad@gmail.com. And then make sure to obviously rate, 5-star rating.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, yourpoor.pod, TikTok, yourpoor.pod. Tell your friends. Please tell all your friends. We're trying to be successful.
Guys, we want to be
You know what?
successful.
We are successful. We're speaking it.
We're successful.
I don't ask for success, I speak it. Is that what Jack Harlow said?
I don't know, but we are successful. There's always room for more success.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're doing. And we want to take you with us.
Yeah.
You're our sisters.
And if you're the OGs, think about it. You're going to be like, I knew them before. That's clout.
You're going to know us from Puffy Nipples.
Yeah. And if you know Puffy Nipples, that's clout.
We really need to get merch that says Puffy Nipples.
Just like Puffy Nipples.
Puffy
With like little hearts.
nipples.
Or flowers. Okay. Anyways.
This was fun.
This was really fun. This is how it would have been if Baily was never born. Which is so weird to think about. I can't imagine being a two-sister duo.
Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Okay, well,
Bye.